잠시 후 50분부터 패널 토의가
From 11:50, we are going to begin the panel discussion. Please come inside the conference hall and take a seat.
날공사 제18회 세계 해양 포럼
Welcome to the panel discussion of a marine bio session of the World Ocean Forum. And now we are ready for the panel discussion. We invited all the speakers and moderator who will have a discussion on today's topic. And please proceed with the discussion, Mr. Moderator. So we have listened to 5 presentations and the podium is arranged. So I'm going to invite 5 panelists, 5 speakers and 1 panelist. And we will take questions on the presentations first. And today's topic is the AI-based research and the application, on which we will have a discussion. And I'm going to introduce our panelists. First, we have a Professor Jeong Kyu-yeol from Postech. And from InSilicon, we have a General Director Kang Byung-chul. And we have a Professor Nomina of Hanyang University. And we have a Mr. Kim Seung-eun, CEO of Oncobics. And we have a Chief Researcher Choi Jung-hyun from Mabic. And on behalf of the government, from the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries, we have a senior researcher, Bang No-baek. And Mr. Bang No-baek received a degree from Chungang University, and now he's working at the Marine and Fisheries Bioresources Division of the Ministry of Oceans and Fisheries. Please give our panelists a big hand. And before starting the discussion, I will introduce some rules. So on the 5 presentations, I'm not so sure about the timekeeping, but I would like to give 1 question to each speaker, and after listening to their answers, we will talk about the measures to expedite the AI-based marine biotechnology researches. And afterward, in the general discussion, we will take some questions from the audience. And now I will give a question to the first speaker, Professor Jeong.
So you've mentioned about synthetic biology and on how to produce the value-added feedstock in a large scale. So what's the challenges in doing that? And for the second speaker, you've mentioned about digital peptide design, how we can secure the reliability of that technology and the usability of that aspect. And for the third speaker, my question is, among AI technology, if we use deep learning to assess the protein functionality, you've mentioned that possible. But as mentioned before, Mabic has established MobiDick system. What kind of suggestion that you can give to us to have more useful data in MobiDick? For the fourth speaker, so the compound that AI suggested and the mechanism that it has, how was the reliability of that can be secured? And if we use AI in the new medicine, is there any ethical issue or legal issue out of that? So if so, how you're going to respond to it? That's my question to you. And for Mr. Choi, data standardization and interoperability? Do you have any strategy to secure those two? And how Morbidi can contribute to the marine data set? And if you have a use case, please mention about that. So let's go from Mr. Chung first. Thank you for the good question. So synthetic biology, if I tell you about the exact goal or ultimate goal, it is to engineer the living organism in the way we want. So in order to edit that or engineer the living organism, we need to edit the genes. By editing the genomic or genes, then we can make the living organism to function in a certain way, and that's the ultimate goal of synthetic biology. And many other speakers mentioned this point, and the content they have touched upon is multi-omics data or metagenomic data, or data that exists in the nature. So it's about assessing the data of living things. And synthetic biology needs those data in order to accurately engineer the organism. So the AI technology that we need is to have ample data first. After securing those ample data, then we will have to analyze those data, and that's the second step. And all the technology mentioned by other speakers, that should come first in order to achieve the ultimate goal of synthetic biology, which is to engineer the living organism. Thank you for your detailed answer. And second speaker.
By using AI technologies, we identify peptides. And in other words, how can we secure reliability of the result? And there are complex implications, whether the functionality is correct and secure, and is it possible to produce them? AI cannot cover everything at once because there are remaining challenges. However, based on our experience, the prediction of a functionality is quite accurate now, as covered in the presentation of Mr. Che. If we have proper data source, just as Mobidic, it will be possible to comprehensive collect data, and based on the data, we can apply them to artificial intelligence to increase reliability. So learning shouldn't be performed too much. Without that, AI could give us a proper answer through a proper level of learning. And we are making our efforts to optimize the reliability. So for sure, there is a challenge. However, in certain fields, we have achieved a certain level of accuracy and reliability.
And Professor No, when you plan out for MABIC, I had a chance to collaborate with your institution. And currently, you have accumulated a large amount of data, and you are the model case of collecting those data. And I think it would be great if I could actively utilize those data as well. As mentioned before, deep learning depends on two goals in training the algorithm. First is learning the data. And based on that data learning, so the algorithm tries to identify the task based on data learning. So first, general data accumulation is very important in order to serve that. For example, I've mentioned about the functionality of protein and enzyme. In order to accurately understand those two, then the experiment will have to be conducted as well, aside from learning the data. if there is a chance to study or train the algorithm to learn about similar functionality, then there will be synergy effect. First is the need for accumulating general data. And second is task-specific data that is linked with experiments. And those two will have to go hand in hand to have a synergy effect with the deep learning algorithm in order to predict the functionality. Thank you.
윤호 교수님 주신 그
So taking your tips and suggestion. So it has only been 10 years since we launched this organization, MAPIC, but we have around 590,000 data on marine resources, and we have the Mobidic program. So whenever you want to use it, then you can access the program.
Mr. Kim, please. And the history of drug design with AI is very short, and the biggest challenge is that now it is at the clinical